Dobry wieczór.
Dobry wieczór.
I'm here with Overpow from ROCCAT. When I start off earlier on in your career, people now say like Overpow is one of the best mid laners, but there was a time when you were a jungler with the same team basically, with two different players. You used to be the jungler. Were you a good jungler as well?
Well, people call me the best jungler in Poland, so...
They did?
Yeah, for like 3 months, so...
Why switch from jungle to mid lane then?
I started playing low as a mid lane, so it wasn't that difficult to switch, and we needed good AP since our AP carry went to AD, Calaver back then, and yeah, we just needed AP mid.
When you were back as the jungler, you played in 2 tournaments where at the time Nexus got quite well known because there was the IEM Brazil where you went all the way to the final and played Incredible Miracle, and then there was the IEM Hanover where actually your team kind of surprised people. You were one of the only non-Korean teams to get out of the groups, while like Fnatic, SK, all these teams, EG, fell out in the group stage. So at the time, what was the level of a Nexus? How good was it?
I think it was quite high, not as good as now, but yeah, it was. We were pretty good back then. We won against SKT, old SKT, so I think we had some good time, and we also surprised ourselves with that result in Hanover.
Because when I saw those IEM results, it was like confusing, like how did you fail the LCS qualifier? And then the next LCS qualifier, again, your team didn't get in. So it's like every day except the LCS qualifier, your team was a top European team. What went wrong, do you think?
I think it was a better day, I don't know. Like we played the group stage in one day, 5 matches. We went 3-0, then 3-2, and we somehow got out of the group, so yeah. But the next day we lost both matches in the off stage, so I don't know. I call it the good day.
When you didn't get into LCS, did you ever consider retiring from LoL or go to another team? Was it ever in your mind?
Not really. I really enjoy MOBAs after this. I like LoL, so yeah, I had nothing against to play. Still try to qualify. There's famous like Polish przysłowie that says like do trzech razy sztuka means you have to try 3 times, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
then you can leave it, but yeah.
Okay, so like 3rd time's the charm,
Yeah.
is how we say it in English. Okay. Before you played League of Legends, I saw on your Leaguepedia that you used to play Dota, you used to play Hon, and when you played in Hon, you actually played with some really famous Dota players, now Loda and Aki, who were in like, well, they were in the best team when they were on the Alliance. When you used to play with these guys, were you considered like one of the best Hon players as well?
We were called one of the best teams, but I think I wasn't called one of the best players. My teammates were, but I just played the offlane, 1 versus 3, so I had nothing to show actually. So yeah, but we're pretty strong. But people didn't call me the best Hon player or something.
Okay, and were they amazing in Hon?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Hani, one of the best Hon players, as well as Ake, Loda as well. So yeah.
So why didn't you go to Dota 2 as well? Because a lot of people I know played Hon. Dota was the one they went to, not LoL. Why LoL for you?
Because I tried LoL much faster before Dota 2 beta came out, and I was already playing some Dota 1, so I didn't want to switch to this almost same game. So I tried LoL. I really liked it and enjoyed playing it. So yeah, I just moved there.
So if you moved to LoL and you started as a mid laner, could you have just stayed as a mid laner like the whole time? Did it make sense? Why did you change to jungle for that period of time?
In LoL, I don't know. It was just a short call. We really needed jungler,
Okay.
a good jungler, and with my ego, I called myself a good jungler. So yeah, let's try it. It kind of worked, so we stayed for like 3 months with it.
Usually whenever someone plays a carry position and they go to a support position, they think like, oh, I could do, like every AD carry in his mind thinks like I could be a support. I know exactly what the support should do, but maybe when he changes, like Yellowstar told me like, whoa, this is totally different. Like I didn't know what I had to do. When you switched to jungler, was it different than you would imagined when you were just a mid laner?
It was really different. Jungle back then was really hard. I had to guess where the enemy jungler would go. You had to help other lanes. You couldn't just let yourself farm all the game like AP mid. So you had to just watch the entire game and play for the team, not for yourself. 2
junglers you got to play against was Helios from Blaze and Cloud Templar from Frost. What did you think of them? I mean, they have big names. Were they as good as the hype?
Yes, they were pretty good. They kind of stumped us, so I think they deserved their name. So they're really good players, and I just couldn't stand a chance to counter jungle them or just think much faster in future than them.
Since most Polish players just stay in Polish teams, they don't try to go abroad. There was this period of time when you used to be in Acer with Creaton, MYM had the same team almost the whole time, and now your team had like the same 3 players for like over a year. Why don't these 3 sets of players, why was there never a super Polish team that was like Creaton, Saleva, Overpow? You know, why wasn't there like the super team? Why was this never created, do you think?
Back then, the Polish scene was kind of divided. Like there were a group of Dota, LoL players with me, and then it was pure LoL players. So we didn't like each other, so we didn't really want to play with us. I was in team with Cretan, then Niku from Dota as well, Super Ace from Dota, and yeah, it was going quite good. But yeah, I guess people don't really are used to playing for so long in the same team, so I don't know.
Does that rivalry with the MYM group still exist?
Yes. It's,
you don't like them?
It's not like I don't like them. I'm neutral to them. Some of my teammates don't like with them. I don't know why. I don't really go in it, so yeah.
Okay. When we said you used to play with Creaton, he actually used to be the jungler at the time, even though now he's a really famous AD carry. Was he a good jungler?
I think yes. I didn't play with him as a jungler.
Okay.
Maybe for a moment, but I don't quite remember.
But then he switched to AD?
Yeah, he played jungler in some other teams with Super Ace Veggie, not Veggie, but he has some other LoL players, and he played Alistar, I think, and yeah, he was quite good back then.
Back when you played with him in Acer and he was the AD, was he the same player we see now? Did something happen and he got really good somehow?
He's still one of the best players, always was one of the best LoL players. He's really good in almost everything. So I think he was on the same level as right now.
Like I said, most Polish players are just sticking with a Polish team. They want to speak Polish. Russian players, all just in Russian teams. If Creaton can go and join other teams that aren't Polish, why don't other star players from Poland try it, do you think? Have you ever had offers to join a really big team as the mid laner or something?
I had some offers. I don't know. It's like a Polish thing. You have to stay with Polish mates. So I don't know. Maybe that's why we are good, because we are 5 Polish teams, like Gambit, almost 5 Russians. So I think it's a thing that people from the same country can do better some things together, and yeah, I think that's why.
When you described it there, like when I asked why you didn't make a super team ever, and your description was like, okay, well, we had like 2 groups of people and they didn't get along okay. When I asked one of your teammates why a super team didn't exist, he told me it already does. Our team is the super team. Do you really? Was he joking? Do you really believe like you have all the best Polish players in this one team?
Right now, I wouldn't lie. I mean, I think yes, we have the best Polish guys that want to play in the Polish team.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's an interesting answer. Okay. Yeah. So going into this season, when the promotion came along, NIP had the #1 seed. Okay, they could pick anyone. They could have picked Super Hot Crew if they wanted. They could have picked other teams. And so most people thought when they picked your team, oh, they must think your team is the weakest. Did you actually know beforehand, like, why they picked you?
I have no idea. We tried to think, why did they pick us over SK? Not SK, sorry.
Super Hot Crew?
Yeah, Super Hot Crew. Because I think almost everyone knew that we are better. We just lost 1 game in the qualifications to the LCS promotion. So we didn't really know what happened. I guess, I don't know.
Because the thing is, because you guys beat them 3-0, and they had to go down into Challenger, people thought, oh, their team must suck because they hadn't hit your team. And now your team's doing really well, and they're doing pretty good in Challenger. So is Nip better than they looked in that series?
Yes, of course. Like I said, it's just one bad day, and you lose everything that you worked so hard for, and just one bad day. Like they are good players, really good guys, and I think they're on the same level as everyone in the LCS right now. So I think it was just a bad day, and we kinda picked better. I think just a bad day and better picks, but overall the skill level is the same.
Since in their team when they used to be in Lemon Dogs, Nukeduck was like one of the stars of the summer season, okay, and everyone said he was this amazing mid laner. So when I saw them play your team, I thought, okay, well mid lane, he should at least do well mid lane, okay. But actually you kind of dominated him overall. What did you feel about the way you and Nukeduck played in that series?
I had no chance to play against Nukeduck before, so I didn't know what to expect. But I knew myself that I'm a good player, so I can at least go for the same CS, for the same level, and keep up in the ganks like I did. So I kind of moved more than him, so we kind of tried this and it kind of worked.
Why do you think it was such a surprise to Nip when you played Kale like that?
Yes, it was a surprise to us because we tried it 1 week before the LCS.
Really?
Yes.
What was the thinking behind picking it?
I don't know. Crazy ultimate, a good push, and yeah, crazy hero, and we tried it. It really worked. So, but to them,
So when you came up with your approach to that series, you were trying to do surprise things. You didn't have set things that were like, this is my favorite champion, I'm going to play that. What was it like?
We played along their picks and bans. We always think like, you have 60 seconds for the pick. We always think what to pick, what can be better, and I guess that's why we decided to pick those picks, because we think for the 60 seconds what can be best, what do they have, can we fight for the dragons, and etc. So I think, yeah, we did just think in the process of picks.
Since now, I mean, you won MVP for one of the weeks of LCS. Everyone now will say, because your team's doing so well, oh yeah, I think Overpow is one of the best mids in Europe. Before this season, there are so many names for mid laner, most people wouldn't have even put you top 5, top 6. Back before this season, did you think of yourself like, no, I'm one of the best mids?
Yes, of course. I have good experience, I'm on good level, so why can I beat Xpeke, Frogan and Alexish? Why not?
So when you have played against them, same players, these legendary players, Alexish, Frogan, you feel like I'm as good or I'm better in certain ways, or how do you think of it?
I try to think that I'm better so I can make something happen. I try to not stay as passive as I did in the qualifications. So I try to surprise some enemies. Like people said that we're only good in late game, we will only win team fights, and let's see how they're gonna do in early game, mid game. So yeah, we just decided to pick some eerie picks as well, so I can do something, and that's why I have to think like I'm the better mid laner, so I can actually make it.
Which European mid laner has the hardest laning phase to play against?
I think it's Frogan. He has really good mid harassment. He doesn't let you creep that easy. He always deny you for going too close to him. And yeah, I think he's one of the best players right now in Europe.
Which EU mid has the best team fight?
Alexish, definitely Alexish. He roams a lot and picks the picks, assassins and AoE champions, so yeah, I guess it's him.
Aside from yourself, people are going to look at this season of LCS and see a lot of mid laners who aren't famous, like Coutard, Moops. We've got these different players like this. Are they at the same level as the Frogans and people like that? Are they a level below? How do you think of them?
I think we are all equal on the same level. They just lose games, and that's why people don't notice them. And I think it's kind of popularity contest than a skill contest, because like Coutard is a really good guy, but he loses more games than us and let's say Gambit. So I think that's why people don't call him the best mid laner, because he loses most of the games. Not alone, but his team.
Your team right now is doing really well for what most people thought you could do. But I get the sense, because you're all Polish, people have a bad memory of MYM season before. Because early on, MYM was doing really well. Everyone was like, wow. Then after that, they lost almost every game. They did really badly. Your team is like almost the opposite to MYM though. MYM, like they have to win in the first 15 minutes. Your team is like winning late game. This season, you'll still be top 3 at the end, yeah?
I think we're gonna end up top 3, yes.
Do you think that MYM team were they as bad as they looked in that last season? Did something change for them, do you think? What do you think?
I think they had just worse players than other teams. Like they really surprised everyone in the week 1, going 4-0 or 4-1, I don't quite remember, but I still didn't think that they're gonna do so well on the long term. So yeah, I think it's only because they played for one guy that kind of people know how he plays, so they counter him in the next week. So that's why they did so bad, I think.
In the last season, the last split of LCS, everyone was just picking assassins. Like all that mattered was you had to get the best assassin counter pick to the other guy. Nowadays, we see different champions. Which are the champions that really fit you right now in the meta? Like, would you have been good with the assassins as well?
Yes, I liked playing assassins like Zed or Kha'Zix. I think Kha'Zix is still viable, but I think I really enjoy playing Gragas and Ziggs that can push out the enemy champion and just try to like farm as much as they can so you can have better items at Dragon Fight or something. And I think Ziggs is the champion for me.
Do you like to watch Korean League of Legends at all?
Yes, we're watching them, but it's not because we like to watch. It's we can learn something from picks, from like crazy compositions, and yeah, that's why we watch them. Not for the fun, but for the must.
What do you think of how Korean mid laners play? Are they different from Europeans?
Yes, yes and no. For example, like Faker is on a different level. He
Just
thinks,
than everyone?
Yeah, he thinks different, and other mid laners in Korea are almost the same as in Europe.
What is so different about Faker, do you think? Is there something that he does and you're like, I don't understand it, or he's just better? What do you think?
I think he's just better. His skill is insane, and he wins every matchup he plays. So I don't know what's that good in him, that he wins everything, but he's really good, and I don't know what his secret is.
Some people, since SKT as a team is the best, some people try to say, no, every player in SKT is really good, and Faker's just one of the good players. You think he's like easily the star player?
Of course, he wins every matchup he plays. He wins every lane he plays, so I don't see the reason why we shouldn't call him the star player here.
One of the things about Faker that is famous is his champion pool is really wide. Like at the end of last season, I saw he'd played like 4 champions 3 times each or something crazy like that, whereas most people had like 1 or 2 they tried to play. How wide is your champion pool?
I think I can play everything, and that's because I play Dota, where you play everything. And yes, I can play everything from Gylo mid to Soraka mid. If it's good, if it works, I can play it, and yeah.
Is there a champion where you can really say, like Overpow is the best in the world on that one champion? Is there one you can pick?
Not really. Like, I don't know, maybe best Mordekaiser. I don't know.
Okay, could be.
No one picked him yet, so
Sure.
it was only me. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm the best competitive Mordekaiser in the world.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Someone told me Overpow, his best skill at mid is cheese. Is this true? Are you a good
Yes.
cheeser?
Yes, I can cheese a lot because of Dota, where people cheese non-stop.
You like that approach?
Yes and no, because it kind of makes my skill level for people less. People think that I'm actually weaker than expect top mid laners, and I can only cheese. But I think it's good because I win, so it doesn't really matter what they think. I just win the game, and it's not because I cheese. It's because of how I play and how good I think in game.
Okay, as a final question, if people still don't know much about ROCCAT, they've only seen a bit of LCS, and so they don't know so many of your teammates, a lot of fans watching, I want you to give me another player, aside from your current teammates, to kind of like, okay, so Zaxxas is like who? and Selava is like which player? You pick one player for each and give me a reference point.
I think Zazus has no player.
Nobody?
Yes, he's crazy guy. He can play everything. He doesn't like some champions, but he still will play it. Like and some champions he's not good at, but he still will play it for the sake of team. Calaver, I think is damn. He went to USA with EG, the AD carrier.
Oh, Yellow Pete.
Yellow Pete, yes, sorry, Yellow Pete. But yeah, I think he's passive as Yellow Pete. Calaver, yeah. Jankos is really aggressive, a lot like Shook. He likes to play really aggressive junglers. Hates to play farm game, passive champions. Let's say if Maokai was still in the game, he wouldn't play.
Oh, right, yeah.
Then it's Vander, the playmaker. So I think it's kind of mad life. Not maybe
Madlife, okay.
Not maybe that good,
Okay,
but yeah, still likes to do plays. And yeah, same hates passive champions. So it's kind of crazy because Calaver is passive and Vander isn't. And that's everyone.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have anyone you want to thank or say hello to?
Yes, of course. Thanks to every fan that follow us, give us hope that we can win and still keep winning against good teams. And I hope we can soon show people that we're as good as Koreans when we're gonna face them at Hopry Worlds in the next split in the next almost year.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.